Hello, my lovely genius students. How are you doing? Are you doing good? I hope so. I hope that all of you are doing great. It's Miss Paraw, the class teacher of grade 2. For today, we are going to study language arts. Language arts. And our topic is apostrophes in possessive. Apostrophes in possessive. From page 70 to 73. So open your books and put it on page 70. Apostrophes in possessive. When something belongs to a person or thing, they own it. An apostrophe and the letter S. Apostrophe and the letter S at the end of a word show that the person or thing is the owner. So when something belongs to a person or thing means when someone has something, and when you want to refer this thing to the owner of the thing, so you are going to put an apostrophe and the letter S at the end of the word to show that the person or the thing is the owner. For example, we have some examples here. The first one is Stacy's eyes. Stacy's eyes. It means eyes of Stacy. Eyes of Stacy. It means Stacy has eyes. Stacy's eyes. An apostrophe and letter S. Number two, the table's leg. The table's leg. It means the leg of the table. The leg of the table. Tom's ball. Tom's ball means the ball of Tom. Tom has a ball. So when we talk about that ball which Tom has it, then we say Tom's ball. On page 70, we have an activity. Read each phrase below, then rewrite it on the lines as a possessive. For example, the coat of Kyla, we have to rewrite it as possessive. The coat of Kyla, we say Kyla's coat. Kyla's coat means the coat of Kyla. Number one, the roar of the lion. The roar of the lion. When we change it to a possessive sentence, then we say the lion's roar. If you pay attention to this one that you can see, and apostrophe, an apostrophe, and S in the end of the word. So the roar of the lion, if you write it as a possessive, we say the lion's roar. Number two, the spots of the leopard. It becomes the leopard's spots. Apostrophe S in the end of the word. The trip of Amy. The trip of Amy, it becomes Amy's trip. Amy's trip. Apostrophe S in the end of the word. You can do the rest in your books and you can check the answers here. This is all the answers. Then on page 71, read the words below, then read the answer choices. Write the letter of your answer on the line. We have an activity which starts from number 1 and ends in number 7. We will read all the phrases below here. Then we will look at them that which of them is going to be the possessive of this phrase. So we just write down the letter. uh, this is like a homework that you can do it by your own, and you can recheck your answers here, but we are going to do some of them together now. Number one, the horn of the rhino. The horn of the rhino. Let's find out the possessive for this one. Is it number A, letter A, the rhino's horn, or B, the horn's rhino? Of course, it's letter A, the rhino's horn, because we are talking about a horn of a rhino. So it is gonna be the rhino's horn. Number two, the animals of Africa. The animals of Africa. If we are going to find out where is the possessive, so let's find it out. Is it letter A, the animals of Africa, or B, Africa's animals? Of course, it's B because it talks about some animals that they are in Africa. Animals in Africa, so it is gonna be Africa's animals. You can do the rest on your own books and check your answers here. This is all the correct answers. We have something new, which is like nearer than the previous one. Commas and apostrophes. Commas and apostrophes. We look at, if you've listened carefully in the previous slides, we talked about apostrophe. Where do we use it, and in which cases that we are going to use an apostrophe. But we have something which it looks like an apostrophe. I mean, the shape looks like an apostrophe, but it is not. It's called a comma. Let's see, where do we use a comma? Commas are used in these cases. Number one, between the day of the month and the year. If you see a month, the day of the month, then a year, so between the day of the month and the year, there must be a comma. Number two, to separate cities and states. To separate cities and states. As you have it here, we have Seattle and Washington. We have a comma here. Number three, a comma follows each item in a series, except for the last. When we have, let's look at the example, then I will clarify this one. The box was filled with pencils, pens, crayons, and paints. Look, you have a box, all of you have a box, that your boxes are filled with, sorry, your boxes are filled with pencils, with pens, with crayons, with paints, and maybe something else. So when you have some items together, like pencil, pens, crayons, paints, and when you want to put them together in a sentence, you have to put down a comma between each of them, except for the last one. As we have it here, the box was filled with pencils, put a comma. Pens, a comma. But when we go to the last one, we don't need a comma. Instead, we just put down the word and, crayons and paints, full stop. Number four, a comma follows the greeting and closing of a letter. A comma follows the greeting and closing of a letter. When we write down a letter, we have two things: greeting and closing. Greeting and closing. In the greeting, when you say, Dear Will, for example, Dear Tom, Dear Annie, Dear Annie, you write down the name of your friend, and after that greeting, you will put down a comma. And we have the same thing in the case of closing. In the end of your letter, you just write down much love, much love. So you put down a comma in the end of the closing part of your letter. And the last thing, we have it on page 73, commas and apostrophes. It's a review. If you look at in the top of the page, in the top and also in the at the side of the page, it's written review. So it means that you're going to review commas and apostrophes. It's a review and also a homework that you can look at your own books, read the paragraphs below. There are 17 commas missing. Write each comma where it belongs. So there are 17 commas missing. You have to write it down. And the second part, read each sentence below. Rewrite the words in parentheses so they show uh, ownership. So you will do these two parts on your own books, and you are going to check it in my slides here because there's the answers that you can check. This is the key answer. We have finished our part for today. I hope you get benefit from it, and I love you. I miss you all guys so much. I hope that all of you have a very grateful and fruitful holiday, and stay safe and sound. Love you. Bye bye.